Welcome to the Conscious Radio Network. Become enlightened, have fun, and tell all your friends and family to share with everyone they know. You can watch us on YouTube and Rumble while following us on Facebook, or find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Our podcasts can be found on Libsyn, iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. Most of all, remember to go to our official website at consciousradionetwork.com for past episodes, future shows, and scheduling. We also want to welcome our international audience. Don't stop now. Enjoy the community. Subscribe or follow today.
This is the Conscious Radio Network.
Hello and welcome wherever you might be on the spaceship we call Earth. This is Conscious Radio Network's The Seance Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, please click subscribe, like, share, comment, and also don't forget to follow wherever or listen, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Today, wow, living in a 3D world with 5D senses and breaking the cycles. We're joined today with Tywanah, fourth-generation intuitive healer, psychic medium, and trauma-informed spiritual guide. As a founder of Black Butterfly Goddess, Tywanah blends ancestral wisdom, spiritual insight, and transformational coaching to help women heal from past wounds and step into their divine purpose. With the powerful story of resilience, Tywanah has dedicated her life to breaking generational cycles and empowering others to claim their power and embrace their highest potential. So today, we'll dive deep into her journey, her work, and how healing isn't just personal, but it's generational. Let's welcome to the show, Tywanah Yvette. Yes, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. This is so exciting.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And honored to have you on this show. You were actually on, I was just talking to a friend of mine across the country. And it's interesting how small this world is. My friend Gloria.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
She said, I told her last night, I'm like, I have Yvette. Yvette is going to be, Tywanah is going to be on my show tomorrow. I'm going to be interviewing her. And she's like, oh my God, that is cool. So she said you were awesome, and glad to have you on her show as well.
You guys are making me blush.
How did this journey, this spiritual journey, I'm sure it started from day one.
Yes.
What is the goodies that we should all need to know of how this journey for you started?
So my technical spiritual awakening, if you will, right? It started with me trying to take my life.
Oof.
I was in a really toxic relationship. I had no idea it was considered abuse, because when the way I grew up, when someone hits you, it's abuse. But screaming at you 4 days in a row, that's not abuse.
Oof.
Keeping you awake to the brink of your epilepsy being triggered, oh, that's not abuse. That's just relationship issues. So I went through that for 2 years with a fourth grade teacher, believe it or not.
What? Oh, man.
Glad my grandchildren don't go to that school.
Yeah.
And I broke. One morning, I just broke. I couldn't take it anymore. He had drained me of my life force energy, my light, my spirit, my soul was broken. And I tried to take my life. And someone found me in the woods. I don't know who, but what was interesting was what happened when I fell asleep. I wake up and I see my stepfather and my mother standing at a tree line, almost like with the shadow of a doorway behind them.
Yeah.
And I run over and I'm like, Daddy! And my stepdad, he never told me no. Like, I was his world. He never said no to me. He would take me to the store, buy me the biggest Chips Ahoy in 1980 were like this, okay?
Yeah.
And tell me, eat them all before we get home. So I'd be 6 years old walking home like that. But I saw Daddy, and he had his head down like this. And he was shaking his head no. And he goes, no, Boom Boom, it's not time. And my mother, in her very Leo-esque way, in her poised way, she's standing there like this. And when I walk over to her, she's not listening to a word that I'm rambling, because I'm saying, Mommy, I'm worthless. Nobody loves me. I'm Satan's child. You know, I'm just this and that and this and that, and nobody needs me. She's not listening to a word. She goes, people are waiting for you. And I'm rambling on, and she goes, you have a purpose, and it begins now. And she pushes me back into my 3D body.
Wow.
And so I decided, I made the decision to move back to Washington, D.C. I was living in Atlanta at the time. In fact, I had just returned from my brother-in-law's funeral when I tried to take my life. It was rough. And so, my sister called, and she's like, I think we need each other. And I'm thinking at the time, I think you're right. And I move up here. But when I moved in her house, that's when I realized I was a healer, because my body was filtering her emotions, and I'm watching her get better. The dog is getting better. She had a 6-month-old cane corso. He's getting better. I'm screaming from inside, hello, I've been through the worst part of my life yet. And nobody's asking if I'm okay. Yeah. Everyone's expecting me to be okay. So, moved into my apartment after she was fine, and she got back to being herself. And my mother's voice got so loud, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. She would have me sitting outside scrying.
Yeah.
Night after night. And it is cold in DC, at night. I bought a Canada Goose coat. I bought a heated blanket, and I'd be sitting outside freezing. But it was the easiest way for them to get the downloads to me, because there's no Wi-Fi signals. There's no lighting. I'm outside. They can easily drop whatever information they need into my crown chakra. And so February of 2024, she had introduced over a dozen ancestors to me. There are 17 in the room right now. She's always right here on this side. My pop-pop's always on that side, and my daddy's always standing in front of me. The others kind of, the GGs, I call the grandmothers the GGs, because there's too many Gs to go back. So they're just the GGs. They sit at the dining room table, and my Pop-Pop's father, Papa Marcus, sits over in the recliner. And, you know, they all have their purpose and things like that. So after I became comfortable with it, she goes, it's time to use your voice. And I said, to do what? And she goes, and I open up Facebook. I'm not in any podcasting groups, but somehow I'm looking at an advertisement for a podcast, and someone recommended me for it. They tagged me, and I'm like, what are you up to, lady?
Right.
So I do the podcast. I share with the world. I'm a psychic medium. I share my story with the world, and I never felt better. It was literally like 47 years of weight had just been lifted off of me. All of the masks fell down and burned. And I get stronger and stronger and stronger. And I've had gifts level up. And even my Native American great-great-grandfather, chief of the Shinnecock tribe, also known as the Hamptons, used to be here. He used to stand in the corner, and his energy, the chief's energy, was big and heavy. but he was a teacher and a guide. And even he walked over to me during an event, a meditative kind of, hypnosis event that I attended a couple of weeks ago. And he places his headdress on my head. And he says, "You no longer need me. Your native name is Thunderbird Rising." And he vanishes.
Yeah.
So this has come about. I remember my mother, I finally remembered my mother sharing the story with me of me being 2 years old. And that's when Pop transitioned. And she shares the story of how I was sitting out on the little pallet she had made for me with toys and things outside of the kitchen so she could make dinner. And she hears me squealing with joy, and I'm like toddling around, and I'm going, Pop can't catch me. And she's like, "My father's not here." And the phone rang, and it was my Nana letting her know my Pop had transitioned.
Oh.
So I've been psychic my entire life. I suppressed it.
Yeah. Yeah. And as we do get older, we transition out of that. We kind of, I wouldn't say, yeah, we lose it, unfortunately, but yeah, our brainwave state changes. We get out of the theta brainwave, and we start getting into delta and stuff. I mean, we start to lose that.
We do. Societal expectations,
Yeah.
religion, all of the things, right? Because people are not very open to, "Oh, by the way, I see your dead mother over there, She says, "Hi, you're not doing well."
Right? Yeah.
So,
And as children, everybody's like, nah, you're not seeing that. That's not real. This is not real. I love it. It's like,
yeah,
and the monsters under the bed or in the closet. Yes, the monsters are real.
they are.
We just are learned and taught to either fear them or they don't
Or
exist.
suppress. Exactly. Exactly. So I suppressed for a very long time, but it was funny because I had married two deacons. I was married twice. And so it was funny because in the church, as long as I was called prophetess, everything was great.
Yeah.
The minute I was called psychic, you should see the disgusting comments that come into my TikTok lives.
Mm-hmm.
You this, you that, you're going to hell. I don't fear hell. I've lived it. Plus,
Right.
I've been on the other side 3 times, and I kind of know what's there.
Yeah.
But yes, that my spiritual awakening, it was 3 of the longest, shortest years of my life. And I came out on the other side of it grateful, excited, happy. I'm happier than I've ever been in life. And I have, to the outside world, I have so much less than I've ever had, but I'm so full of joy. My children had walked away for a time because the trauma that I was dealing with, it really affected them too much. So I commend them. They are the most brave, beautiful souls I've ever met. And we have reconciled. So I tell them all the time.
And I was about to ask, how are the children now? How your interaction, and are they kind of also taking the torch as well from the work that you do?
They are, but they don't know it. They are, but they can't tell yet. My middle child has always had a very psychic connection with me. And so I can see what's happening in her life. And I'm like, okay, Mom, I see what you're up to. I see what you're doing. My oldest child, she wanted to know, how do I talk to Nana? And I was trying to explain it to her, but she has my 2 grandchildren, and they are a lot. They're 11 and 9, and they're involved in, like, my grandson just got the President's Award, so they're involved in a lot of extracurriculars and good academics and things like that. So she doesn't have the time to sit still and listen every day. But she will. So this lady's always up to something. So all of her grandchildren are gifted, yes. And my granddaughter My daughter doesn't know my granddaughter's a high priestess. So just like her Nana. And it's so funny, our connection, because every time my epilepsy is triggered, I have a missed call from her. It's like her 9-year-old self knows she has to check on Nana,
Yeah.
but she doesn't know why.
Yeah. Those synchronicities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yes, very gifted, very, very gifted children and grandchildren.
Wow. It seems like these gifts or blessings seem to skip generations.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem to always be the case?
I don't think so. Usually they do, but in my case, my mother was psychic, her mother was psychic, her mother was psychic, and then we had the ultimate end all be all Gigi Jerusha, fourth
Yeah.
great grandmother back, who was a lot more than psychic.
Yeah.
So she was the witchy psychic. And she was Irish. She's Irish.
Mm.
She tells me not to talk about her in past tense. She's Irish. And then my grandmother, my pop-pop's mother, I recently found out she was initiated as a daughter of Oshun.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I had to learn a lot about that. And then, so I've got Native American, West Indian, and Irish. So I've got all of the
Wow.
psychic witchy blood
Yeah.
running through my veins.
Yeah. Or the Orishas. Yeah.
Yes.
The warriors. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause my great grandmother, my Nana, was nobody ever really knew that she was psychic or was a medium.
Mm-mm.
And I didn't know, obviously. The reason I found out was through a seance.
Yeah.
And she came through, and ever since then, every time I do any work, any spiritual work, she's always here guarding the gate.
Yes. My Nana, she always seemed like a miserable person to me until I found out 3 years ago it was because she was psychic and was seeing things and hearing things
Yeah.
and was not allowed. You dare not speak that, in she was born in 1911, so you
Wow.
dare not speak those things. So it has not skipped generations in my family, and I think it's because they couldn't speak. So it was like, okay, maybe the next generation will, maybe the next generation will. And finally they got to me.
Yeah.
And I remember June 2nd of last year. I'll never forget it. I did a TikTok live overnight, and I was preparing to travel to go to South Florida for vacation for 2 weeks. And people like I said, people come in the TikTok lives, they're nasty, they're rude, they're disgusting, right? They just start things without, why are you here? Why am I even on your For You page?
Mm-hmm.
If you hate psychics so much. And so I used to just block people. I wouldn't acknowledge them. I would block them. And I stood up, put my iPad in my travel backpack. I was going to get my suitcase, and my Gigi stands up, and she's 4'2", so I'm 1.5 feet taller than she is. And I'm looking down at this red-haired Irish lady, and she goes, "How dare you?" And I'm like, what did I do? She says, "We waited for you. We couldn't speak. And you let people disrespect you on that thing? How dare you?"
Wow.
I couldn't sleep on the plane. Usually I fall asleep. I could not sleep on. That vision is permanently etched in my head of her standing up and pointing her finger in my face. How dare you? And when you think about the weight of that,
Yeah.
how dare I? So now I don't have to curse anybody out, but I do say something back.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. How dare you be here disrespecting me?
Exactly. I ask people, why are you here?
Yeah,
This
right?
is my living room. You
You
have
don't
to
have
come
anything
in the
nice to say, don't
live.
say anything at all.
Exactly. Just go away. Just go away.
I think those are the trolls,
They
the
are.
real trolls embodied in human bodies. Because I tell you, there are a lot out there that they literally just go out there and just fish for
Yes.
causing problems. They just
Wreaking havoc.
they want to be the bullies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, my mother whispers, if they won't leave, I'll tell them, I'll give you an opportunity to just leave on your own, but you may not like what happens if you stay. Because
Mm,
my mother will whisper something in my ear about them, and then I have to speak it.
yeah.
So it gets quite embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah. Um so these generational patterns that what seems to be the most common um trait, so to speak, of these generational patterns with some of your clients that seem to hold them back and kind of stop them from progressing in their current lifestyle?
Lack mindset,
Mm.
number one. Unworthiness, imposter syndrome. Those would be the top three. And
Wow.
that's handed down generationally. People don't realize that, but all of those are generational things that have to be healed. There comes a time where we have to say it stops here. Once we're aware of it. For example, I had no clue that GGJ had taken a vow of poverty because so that she wasn't found out.
Mm.
And so my life has been up and down, up and down. I've owned homes on golf courses, and then I've lived in crappy apartments.
Yeah.
And once I found that out, I could break it. But I was not happy when I found it out. When she said it, I was like, you really watched my life go through this and you knew? Like, really? So I was quite upset, but those are the three things: that imposter syndrome, that unworthiness, that is passed down generationally. Bad relationships, that's passed down generationally. Lack, poverty, that's generational. Illness,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
the acceptance of diagnoses, because people don't realize we can heal our body with our speech.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you see, like in for example, the African American community, diabetes, right? High blood pressure, diabetes. Those are the two they try to pin to us. No, that's a generational thing, and it has to be broken.
Mm. I'm assuming too. There's a metaphysical um, miracle out there that shall not be named because we would shame the modern medical industry
Yeah.
and
Yes.
put so many people out of business. That
Yes.
shouldn't be in business.
Exactly. Shouldn't be there in the first place.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yes,
Yeah.
there are. There are. In fact, in 2010, before I even realized, or acknowledged that I was a psychic medium, my kidneys failed. I was on the transplant list. I was
Wow.
less than 12 hours from death when I got to the hospital. And they kept me in there 3 weeks and kept giving me antidepressants and anti-anxiety medicine because I refused to set up dialysis at home.
Huh.
And they're like, what is wrong with you? You're not accepting it. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm not accepting this. And 3 weeks later, to the day of admission into the hospital, I would just write all night.
Yeah.
I am healed. This is not my reality. I am healed. This is not my reality. All night I would just write that. And 3 weeks later to the day, the doctor comes in my room pale as a ghost. And he says, I don't know what you've done, but your kidneys are functioning at 100%. And I was like, great, can you take this thing out my neck now?
Yeah.
Can I go home? I have children. But we have the power to heal ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And that action helped, I see it as was one of the tools that pulled you out of this 3D this 3D verse type thing that was going on, that you was temporarily trapped in.
Yes.
By writing, by intention, by power of thought and emotion, enabled you to untangle yourself from that 3D entrapment.
Exactly. But see, just as I was able to heal myself, I also discuss how our anger can manifest things like that.
Yeah.
So that's why they say, be careful what you say when you're angry. I was having a heated argument with my first husband, and I screamed with force. If I got in a car wreck and died, you wouldn't even care. Well, guess what? 2 weeks later, I was in a near fatal wreck.
Oof.
And he didn't care. He had an affair. So, but it was my fault. It was my fault because
you
I
created
put that out there with that force, that anger, you know? So it's my fault that it happened.
Yeah. It's a spell. It's a spell that we create.
Yeah.
And hence that's words mean a lot. And the word like spelling, the word spelling, if you're spelling a word, that's why it's called that.
Yes.
It's putting a spell on something.
Yes. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I because I'm very into etymology, especially since I have, taken on my actual, the reason I was sent here, taken on my purpose.
Yeah.
I've been very intentional about learning the roots of words. And for example, all of these women running around calling each other queen. Stop! That's what I want to scream when I hear it. Just stop! Because the etymology means prostitute.
Whoa.
Oh, please stop, because you are then speaking that over someone's life. And when I shared that with my daughter, she was like, I guess I better stop using that. Yes, use goddess. Use
there
goddess.
You go. Yeah.
It's still royalty, but it means that I am the divine feminine co-creator versus a prostitute. Huge difference.
Yeah, very big. Yeah,
and then
big
cursive. That's another word. Cursive. They took cursive out of schools.
Yeah.
But it's because it's easy. When you're writing in script, the universe recognizes it quickly.
It's amazing how all these occult and esoteric things, when you start to really look at the meanings, like you said, the etymology, the esoteric stuff behind everything has one. It's amazing when you really look at it. You're like, yep, that's why they did this. That's why they did. That's why I look at the optics and everything. Everything's got an optics that we got to pay attention to. To see why things happen. Everything is intentional. And
oh yeah.
Yep.
People don't realize it. I used to work for White House appointees. And I try to educate people without divulging information that'll have the men in black showing up at my front
Yeah.
door. And, let them know, like, stop watching the news, stop paying attention to this stuff, because the more energy, it's energy harvesting. The more energy you give to it, the more powerful they become.
Yeah.
Stop with the division. You're playing into what they want. They want us divided. Christian versus spiritual, Democrat versus Republican, black versus white. Everything is a divide. And
Yeah.
it's because collectively, if we find out who we are, they'd be broke.
Yeah. Yeah. We'd get our own power back, and we'd start to
Yes.
realize that we've all been lied to, and this whole everything is and I've had some guests on the show. We got a little bit into the the holographic universe theory and the simulation theory, that this is all a simulation. I'm like, yeah.
Did you watch, what show was that? When I used to still watch television, it only did one series. It took off like hot fire. It was on Netflix, but it took place in Asia, and they did this game, and everybody was competing for this money that was in this ball. And every time they played this game, somebody got killed or whatever, and it eliminated players. Gosh, I can't remember. It escapes me now.
That sounds familiar.
But
Yeah. Huh.
they told on themselves.
Yeah.
They told that literally. They told on themselves. Disney movies. They tell on themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's
best
what's
thing-
in the
yeah.
agreement.
Yeah, that is. And the best way to hide something is just put it in plain sight. Just put it right out there.
They have to show us in some way, shape, form, or fashion what they're doing before they do it. That's in the agreement.
And the thing is, too, that escapes the karmic, what do you call it?
Imprint.
Yeah, yeah. That way they're not held accountable.
Exactly.
Kind of like signing
I
a
told
contract.
you.
Yeah, I told you it was going to happen. And you just...
It's in Moana. Why didn't you pay attention?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we could do a whole show on this. We could do a whole episode on this.
Right.
I've got a show called now I'm trying to think. Project Truth. And it's specifically on the Patreon channel. I'm still building it. Only because nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about that stuff. So it's hard to find guests for that type of show. So if you have something you want to talk about, we can talk about it on that show. That way we don't get taken down on the YouTube
We don't
channel.
want that. We don't want that. We don't want the men in black showing up on YouTube. No.
Right. Yeah. I figure if the men in black really want to watch me and spy on me, they're paying for it.
I love it. I love it.
I'm charging you rent.
Exactly. If you're going to come get me and watch me, then you pay for it.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, I'll shoot you. I'll send you I'll email you the information on the program stuff. Really cool.
Wonderful.
So before we wrap up, for those who are watching can see your website scrolling there on the bottom, but for those who are listening only, where can they find you and what they can expect on your website?
blackbutterflygoddess.com or Black Butterfly Goddess on any and all social media platforms. And they can expect to see readings with and without mediumship, coaching, guidance. I just finished a summit. I've got another one that I'm putting together for October. So I am all things healing using my cheat code of my connection to spirit.
Nice. Speaking of summits, I was just invited to do a summit, to be a guest speaker on a cruise.
Oh,
Yeah, in November. And that'll definitely be after this broadcast. And I'll send you some information because I think they might still be looking for guest speakers,
oh, nice.
or not. But it's all paranormal. It's a paranormal expo type thing, but it's on a cruise
Oh my
to
God.
Jamaica.
Oh, in November.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, in November.
lovely.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
can, I can do the strong Caribbean accent. My pop's Caribbean, so
Right on.
he'll go, child. Didn't I tell you to stop doing that? No, that's not the way.
Yep. Yep. I'll shoot you some information. I just had a meeting today about it, and I'm like, I'm
I'm
on.
in.
I'm going.
I love it. I love it. That is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Cool.
Cruises are the way to travel.
Oh man, yeah.
All you can eat,
Right?
room and
Right.
board, entertainment.
Yep. Stop off on the island. Have some Jamaican rum. I don't drink anymore. It's been years since I've had any alcohol.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't partake in any of those types of spirits. Because it lowers my vibration. But I do drink the non-alcoholic spirits, which even date back. I got some. It's like, well, the bottle's not from back in the 1200s. It's a Japanese spirit that doesn't have any alcohol in it, and it's something that was created like back then. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's
That's
some stuff
cool.
like this all over the world, but it's very hard to find. And
Yeah. That
I'm
is
starting
cool.
to see it advertised, and there's companies all over the world that it's traditional to those sectors of the globe. So I'm like,
Nice.
okay,
Why not?
yeah,
Why not?
right.
Yeah, we don't want to lower the vibration.
No.
That's not something we want to do.
Absolutely not. So before we go, what do you have to offer our audience today as a takeaway? Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. Be you. Find out who you are and what your purpose is. Not what your parents told you to do, not what your family expects of you, and not what society says you are. Your legacy is not your 401k. It's your name and your truth.
Easy. Definitely. Absolutely. I say that so often to people that it's the imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Don't be somebody you're not.
No.
Just to impress somebody. No, it's not worth it. Find out who you are, and you won't have to.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Then people either like you, they love you, or they hate you, and they can move on over there.
Yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
say. You can go over there.
And you get more respect from people if you are who you are.
Authentic. Yes. Authenticity is key.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Amen. Tywanah, blessings. Namaste, my friend.
Namaste. Thank you.
You are very, very welcome. And welcome back anytime, and I will send that information out.
Awesome. Look forward to receiving it.
Cool. Thank you, everybody, for watching the Seance Podcast on Conscious Radio Network. And until next time, we'll